All right, people. We've seen the market being red and red and red for the last weeks, actually. All right, so I have some news I'm gonna kind of share with you in this video based on a technical analysis from a very top kind of chart guru on Wall Street, and the news or what he's actually seeing forthcoming for these next 2 weeks of December and getting into January can actually give us some expectations around AMC stock trading around maybe $100 a share if everything goes as expected. And by that I mean the shorts all across the market getting squeezed. All right, so getting into this, stocks will roar higher into year end and January as an overshoot in selling leads to a short squeeze, JP Morgan quant guru says. So the guy is saying that stocks are poised to an end of year in early 2022 rally as the recent sell-off appears overdone and hints at moves by short sellers who will soon get squeezed, according to Marko Kolanovic, the chief global market strategist at JP Morgan. In a note published Friday laying out his stock market outlook, the quant guru said US stocks are 28% off their highs. But the overall market, as measured by the Russell 3000, is still up about 22% for the year. Such a divergence is unknown to us and indicates a historically unprecedented overshoot in selling smaller, more volatile, typically valued and cyclical stocks in the last 4 weeks. Headlines, we're attributing these to the whole Fed, and thing, microsh case, and actually selling, however, is due to risking and shorting from hedge funds. Risking and shorting from hedge funds. Keep that in mind. Now, moving forward, the conditions needed for a successful short selling of effort doesn't exist, meaning this market episode may end up in a short squeeze and cyclical rally into year-end and January. He also pointed out that volatility targeting or risk parity funds are adding exposure with a strong value growth rotation also underway. Overall, the situation from a technical and fundamental perspective doesn't resemble the massive stock market rout seen in the fourth quarter of 2018. All right, so I'm going to stop here because the rest is not really relevant for the purpose of my video here, but I'm just using this to say that if the recent sell-off that we've seen on the market have been attributed to either the Fed and COVID, new variant Omicron, the news is kind of already priced into what we're seeing on the levels around the stock market. That being said, it doesn't look like, by looking either at the chart or the fundamental, that this might get further into the red, all right, based on his prediction. And that's why he thinks, based on the rotation from money flowing out of the tech stocks, the NASDAQ, based on these interest rates that are supposed to increase next year, people are shifting, selling, some of these pockets of the market and are positioning themselves, especially after Friday being quadruple witching day. So that being said, it means, according to, again, this quant guru, that we might expect the short sellers being squeezed out of this place. All right. So if that also get applied to AMC, especially with what we've seen on the price action on Friday, the news around, Spider-Man box office numbers and the DOJ doing his thing, Evergrande finally getting into default, not only we have margin calls starting to knock out at the end of some of these short sellers, but also the buying pressure and the fear of missing out on AMC, which is actually poised to go very higher, very quick. So based on this, I'm expecting actually the stock price on AMC to start moving very high and potentially leading to a massive rally to $100 a share, maybe by Christmas. That is very possible. But as always, I'm hoping for the best, but I'm also preparing for the worst. So there are two faces of every coin. All right. So first coin, the best case scenario, the ideal story for the bull case of AMC reaching $100 a share by Christmas or by year end. what are the odds? Very, very high, all right, based on what I just said earlier. But nobody has a crystal ball. I would love to have a crystal ball so that I can give us tips and use those tips to get rich and richer and wealthy. But unfortunately, the world doesn't happen and work that way. So based on this, you can also take into consideration Omicron, and based on what we've seen now, it seems like it is still having a way on some of the pockets of the market, so we can continue to see a sell-off, maybe into next week as the volume gets thinner and thinner. But usually by year end, December have always been a very bullish and green month overall for the stock market. So based on this, I'm kind of guessing, and I will go for the bull case because I'm a bull on AMC. So I'm going with whatever bull case is there for AMC to reach the highest price possible getting into the end of this year. So let's just wait and see.